Today, family, I will actually be showing footage to coach my real life basketball team. So if you want to see 2K tutorials, click the link above right there. And if you want to listen to how I coach my team, you can stay. If not, just click the tutorial, the link above for 2K tutorial from this week. Okay, team, so this is the phase set we've been running to a lot of success the past 2 weeks. The positions are such, except with the new addition of Mark. So Mark and Luke will be at the same spot. So Mark and Luke from now on will maintain the elbow spots. So you see where Luke is, we're going to call that the elbow. And where James and Ron are, we're going to call that the double side because there's two wings. And where I am, on the Sam side, we're going to call that the single side. All right, so we got Luke at the elbow, James and Ron on the double, Sam on the single, Steph's up top. So this is the phase we've been running. You guys see, I'll pop out on the single, drive it to the paint. We've been doing this great over time, but today we're going to add in a couple of the new things. The first new thing we're going to add in is this elbow rub action with swing motion. So we're still in the phase set, as you can see here, just like the Golden State Warriors are, but it will turn into this kind of high 4-1 spread with the elbow guy using a screen from the point guard to cut in. I'll break this down in detail later. And the split action is also going to be added in because we have very good post players in both Luke and Mark. So a split action is where if there's a post entry pass, the two swings will run a split. And there it is. I'll also break this down in detail, but those are the two things we're learning today. The split action and the elbow rub freelance out of phase. So let's take a look at the elbow rub. So what it does is that in this instance, James will be Curry. He's swinging the ball to Steph. Steph is going to work the ball back to me, and I'm on the single side with the elbow man. So that's either Luke or Mark. That's Draymond along the elbow. And when Steph does this, so if the swing motion is initiated, Steph needs to understand he's going to go set a pin down from one of the wings on the double side. So Steph right now is going to go set a screen for James. James is going to pop up top. I'm going to work it back to James. James is going to give it to Steph, with Steph filling up the wing area now instead of the middle. James goes set the screen, and this cut is really important. This is an elbow rub cut. So Mark and Luke needs to understand they're using the pin not to pop out for free. Instead, they're going to use the pin and kind of turn the corner like it's a pick and roll, like a rub. So this is what I call a rub screen. So you rub, you go back in, turn your corner into the paint, get an easy pass from Steph. Let's watch this again in slow-mo. This swing motion action is great because other teams been pressuring us on the ball lately because our phase set has been killing them with the back cuts. So if we initiate the swing motion, Steph is going to set a screen for James or Ron, pop up, get it back to Steph on the wing. This is really important. The elbow man must be on the opposite side of Steph because as you run this elbow screen, this gives Steph a very easy passing lane to the big man, deep into the paint where nobody else is, with me and James or Ron both sitting on a corner on both sides. Let's watch it in flow, in sequence. So this is really good because it's always in phase. As you can see, this is phase. But this is a modified version where now is still phase, no longer phase. We're going to get Steph to the wing. Elbow rub screen coming from one of the wings on the double side. Luke and Mark turn the corner. Easy too. Now at the same time, the play doesn't necessarily always have to start on the double side. Here, it is starting on the single side. So we'll pretend I'm Klay Thompson. Steph is Bogut. Ron is Curry. And James is Harrison Barnes with Mark or Luke as Draymond Green. So we'll let this run. As you can see, we're in phase right now. Steph sets the screen for Ron to pop out. Ron sets a elbow rub screen for Mark or Luke. Luke and Mark turn the corner. Easy pass to Steph. Steph's just going to remember to stay on the wing. Same thing again. We're starting off on the elbow side. So this is me and Luke and Mark on one side. We're going to get into phase. Steph is going to set a pin for James or Ron. Steph's going to flow to the wing. So he's going to be on the opposite side to the elbow man. And then Ron or James go set the screen. Elbow man rubs it. We go back to phase, but deep into the paint. Missed the shot, but great position. You can see it in flow here again. We're going to swing the ball, go back to the wing. Elbow man sits. Other big man, Steph on the other side. Easy rub screens, easy too. And here it is one last time for the day. Swing motion action. We go to the elbow side. Double side, freeze the man up top. Ron sets the screen or James. Easy finish. All right. So that's the action we're going to add into our phase set. And we're also going to be adding a split action. So we're going to understand that every entry pass that is success into the post, we're going to run a split action by the wing. So watch. So we can pretend here that James is Curry, David Lee is Luke and Mark. I'm up top by myself as Harrison Barnes, and Ron is in the corner as Klay Thompson. So here, Luke and Mark catches the ball deep into the post. And at this moment, Ron and James just need to understand, if there's a post entry pass, you run a split action. And a split action is essentially the two wings closest to the post is going to set a pin down or a back screen onto each other with one popping in and one popping up. That's the split action right there. Let's watch this one more time. James entry pass to Luke and Mark. Ron and James understand entry pass, split action immediately. One goes in, one pops out. If the big man wants to pass, he can. Now, the key about the split action is not necessarily the pass. You just want to run the split action so the postman gets a little bit of time to work. So here's another split action to the post. That's nice. So these are like early entry passes into the post, which I can do easily as I bring the ball up. So split action needs to become a habit for us. And you can see another split action here with the ball in the post. But this time, the split action leads to nothing, but that's fine. This actually gives the space and the timing the postman needs to go to work. And with Luke and Mark, we'll get a lot of easy looks. So this is the elbow rub set earlier that leads to the miss. You can see here because I guess you can say Luke and Mark is too deep here. So a habit we need to get into is that from the elbow rub set, we can actually just, instead of using the elbow rub to go all the way to the basket, we can turn the elbow rub action into an entry pass. And following the entry pass, we can run a split action. So the two do flow into each other. It just depends how the game flows and how we can adjust. And here you can see we're beginning in phase. So pick your position. So we got Steph up top as Harrison Barnes. Ron and James is up top as Brandon Rush and Klay Thompson. Luke and Mark is sitting in the elbow area as David Lee. And I am on the single side as Curry. So you can see Steph is simply going to give the entry pass to Luke and Mark here. And from this point, me and Steph understand entry pass, split action. You see that split action right there? Leads to nothing. You don't have to pass. Luke and Mark can just go to work, pull up jumper, beautiful stuff. Here it is again. We're in phase. So yes, phase does open a lot of split action. So last clip of the day, so we're in phase. So I'm entry passing as Klay Thompson on the single side into Luke and Mark in the low block. Steph is up top as Harrison Barnes. And Bogut and Curry there is just going to be James and Ron. So as you can see, as the entry pass happens, me and Steph understand entry pass, split action, kind of modified, but still works. It's still a split, so beautiful stuff. So, alright, so that's it, team. So remember, today what I've showed you, we got the elbow rub action. That is pretty much the same face set, except, we're going to turn face into that elbow rub. And also the split action where it's going to be every entry pass. And why don't you just text me, so we're going to go shoot around now. Trying to finish the video before that. So that's it. Remember the split action, remember the elbow rub action, and also every off-ball screen we do now should be done the same way as the elbow rub action, where the guy setting the pin, stop texting me, I'm coming to practice, where the guy setting the pin is gonna, send the guy curling to the paint. Don't pop out, don't run in a straight line. If you get an off-ball screen, curl into the paint, just like we see here in elbow rub. Alright, so yeah, I'll see you guys at practice. I'm going to end the video. And family, if you stayed, cool. This is actually what I do teach them in my team, my basketball team in real life. And yeah, if you want 2K tutorials, click the link above. I'll see all of you next time.